Hi, everybody. A lot of people probably just see this on the rewatch, but anyways, I've been thinking about going live for weeks, and there's always some excuse not to. Um, but I'm working on a weaving project, and I don't understand every single time that's on there. I pinned something one time forever ago, and I delete it every single time, and it's still always there. I don't, I don't, I don't know what to do. Um, anyways, um, I'm gonna step away and watch my front door for me for a minute while I log in on the computer and share this so that other people know I'm live and maybe they'll tune in and we can talk a little bit about the drawing. We're sitting at just under 425 followers on the business page, which is exciting. I've had a lot, of people adding me to, their news feeds, and I'm hoping they're seeing the few things that I do post. Hi, Annie. It's good to see you on my live. I'll be right back. Gotta run over to the computer and share it to my main page. One second. Oops. Um, so I put headphones in because I thought maybe I could listen to music and do this at the same time and not get in trouble because Facebook doesn't like that. But it didn't work out, so I'm gonna pop these out and throw them back in the case. Thank you. Thank you. How are you feeling? I know that you had, some doctoring done, and I wonder how you're feeling. I see that you're working, which is always fun. I love seeing your work. You do so good. Um, I wanted to say, something about inauguration, but I don't want to get all into political stuff. Um, what I can talk about that I think will be fun is that tomorrow my new book will be available to listen to on my Audible account. If you are a Fourth Wing fan, then you know that tomorrow's the big day. I pre-ordered mine several weeks ago, anticipating, things being tough this month, which they are. January is always a tough month. Getting through the new year, getting started on new things. Oh, that's too bad. Um, did you do a lot of liquid diet stuff? I remember when my sister had one of those repairs done, and she was on a liquid diet for a long time because everything she ate made her stomach hurt. So normally you wouldn't get to see me. Left side. It's on my left side. Are you seeing it on the right though? Because I think sometimes it mirrors what you're doing. Um, so yeah, the doctor won't be happy. Because you didn't lose weight or because you did the liquid diet stuff? know. When I had it done, I'm not even sure what provoked me or like inspired me to do it to the left. It just happened to be what happened. At the time, I'm not even sure I was really thinking real hard about it when I had it done. I just was like, I want a nose ring, so here we are, la la la. I've forgotten how soft, dead soft copper is. And this particular project, there we go, I think that's right. Oh, well, I think a lot of doctors like to let us know that we are in the obese category. But I really think that people can be healthy at a larger size and a heavier weight. Can't drink from a straw. Is it because does it hurt, or is it just something the doctor said not to do? Kind of reminds me of like when you have your teeth out, they tell you, don't pull your blood clots out by sucking on a straw or anything, Oh my gosh, what have you been doing with yourself that you have so many hernias going on there? I mean, obviously, if I ask something that's too personal, don't answer, Hi, Holly. Thanks for joining me. I'm just playing in the wire, working on a weaving project, so I'll show it to you guys a little bit. Normally I would tip my camera down and let you watch me work, but I'm actually following somebody else's pattern that I paid for. And so a lot of times when people, have paid tutorials, they ask you not to share the process and stuff like that so that they can have people continue to support them that way. And I have made 3 tutorials. 2 of them were DIY kits, and it's a lot of work. My third one, I think, is just going to be a PDF on a 2-stone wrap, which I used moon-shaped cabs. And I just haven't set it up yet for people to, buy or use. Oh, okay, I see. Well, it's good that you're getting that addressed. It'll hopefully, get corrected soon and you'll feel better. It's really terrible to have to do all that. Okay, so with the colostomy and the colostomy, are those like hernias, or is that like when people say colostomy, I automatically think they have, a collection bag. Goodness, you must have been doing way more than you should have on your own to have developed so many hernias, honey. I'm so sorry. Are they painful? Do they hurt you? think my mom developed one. Hi, Marcy. A belly button hernia later on in life, but they never really felt like it was something that needed to be taken care of because it wasn't causing her trouble. How have you been, Marcy? I think about you all the time, honey. I hope everything is going well for you. I have this thing recently where I cannot seem to get my center stuff exactly center the way I want it to look. And, you know I'm not the only one that struggles with that. But I find it quite frustrating. Oh, wow. That sounds like it could be painful and cause a lot of trouble for you. I am so sorry to hear all of that. I sure hope that they get it all straightened out and that you get to feeling better soon. That just sounds very uncomfortable. So for the new people joining me, because I only get to see, like every so often it pops up and says who's watching. I'm working on a woven project. Today I'm using dead soft copper, and I'm having to remind myself to be careful because dead soft copper is like butter and you can pull it out of place really easily. But oddly, after you weave it up real good, it holds its shape really well. So, yeah. The pattern I'm following is called what does she call it? I just don't even know if it has a name, but it's by Julie Hulick, and I'm probably killing this pronunciation. Copar Angel, and it's a really, really beautiful tutorial, and I have only done it the way she does it first. So this is the business name, and this is what it looks like finished. So for me, when I do this pattern, I actually change the bail up here where it hangs. I change that up, and I add beads to this to really give it a different texture and look. But I always like to give credit to the person that I made the purchase from, because they really deserve that. A lot of these tutorials are really, really affordable, and I thought buying them at first was kind of cheating, and I wasn't figuring out how to do it on my own, and it's really not. Yeah, she's just great. So what I'm wrapping today is this lovely little bit of amber that I got from my supplier in Indonesia, and it's kind of a funky shape, but I really love it. Ooh, that sounds very pretty. Did you use silver, or were you using, I'm not sure if I see you use copper a lot, but I know that I've seen you use brass and even some gold looking wire, but I'm not sure if it's gold. Gold is a lot. That's a lot. It really is. Um, yeah. Sure would be nice though if I could listen to music or something while I was working without Facebook shutting me down. I guess I could put on like my nature scenes where it sounds like water rushing and stuff like that, but I think that would kind of like make it hard for you guys to hear me and understand what I'm saying, and I would much rather you heard me if you're taking the time to watch me. Hi, Tasha. Yes, cold forge, of course. You do so good at it. I did some cold forging and I still can, but I really just don't have the patience for it, or the hammering skill. And I know that if you just do it just a certain way, like Dennis showed me so many times on several of his lives when I was watching him trying to figure it out. It's just probably not something that I do real well, but you do so beautifully. I absolutely love my opal that I got from you. And I don't wear it very often because I'm always afraid I'm going to get it wet. And I don't want to damage my opal because it's so pretty. Like if I'm going out to see, my sister or my nieces, I'm worried about the baby sticking it in her mouth and getting it all slobbery, so I don't wear it. And then like if I go outside and I'm not sure what the weather's going to do, if it rains, I'm concerned it'll get wet. So it spends a lot of time just being loved in my jewelry box. Now the way the back of this is, the way Julie finishes the back, you would be able to see the wire in the back. So I'm going to actually try and change it up a little bit on this one too, so that you do not see the supporting wires through the stone. So that's going to be tricky for sure. Also, if you tend to wear sweaters, let me just tell you that they tend to catch on the end of your weaving wire and bend your stuff all out of shape. So I'm going to take mine off and set it aside for now because it keeps bending my wires out of shape. And I need to put them back in order so I can keep working. So the book that is coming out tomorrow that I'm going to read, if you are not aware, I think every fan of the series is aware. I had someone tell me that eventually it might dry out and get its color and its flashback. But in my experience with the stones that I have had, like I have an opal ring that I bought, and I wore it to do all kinds of things. I wore it for dishes. I had lotion rubbed into it, and it went all foggy on me. And I was like, oh no, what happened? And they're like, oh yeah, the opal soaked up all that stuff, and it's damaged now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but they said that eventually it should clear up, but I haven't seen evidence of that. I look at the ring often when I get into my jewelry box, and it's still pretty foggy. So that's really unfortunate. And I wonder about like doublets. If it's doublets or calibrated quartz covered, if that would protect it or not, but I really am not 100% sure that it does or doesn't. I don't have that knowledge. Yeah. So just taking my time here, making sure that my wire's not too tight, and bending my outer wires, my base wires out of shape, because you don't want bubbles all over. I mean, sometimes you do, but in this particular case I don't. Hi, Amy. so glad that you can pop in and see my face, because I'm not showing my work currently because it's a pattern, and I don't want to betray the gal that did all the work to make the pattern, because tutorials are hard. Doing all that work and making all that is really a lot of work. And I really want to support this artist thoroughly by making sure people know who she is and how you can get, you know, the same pattern I have. A lot of times I will order from Etsy or directly from the artist or from their artist page and download the PDF. And then I'll print it out and stick it in sleeves, and then I put them in 3-ring binders. I have a 3-inch 3-ring binder for my Nicole Hanna tutorials, and then the rest of them are like 2-inch or 1-inch. Hi Rob, glad you could poke in and say hello. It's just my face today, no work to be seen because of how I'm working. I'm still working towards getting my 500 followers so that I can give something away. I'm hoping to do that before or right around Valentine's Day. And essentially, you know, what people will get if they get drawn is they will get to pick a stone out of the ones that I provide, and it will be done up in what I call my simple elegant wrap, and we'll try to customize it as close as we can for the person who wins. So I'm really excited about how many followers I've gained over the last couple of months, and I'm really excited to do the drawing and do that custom order up for the winner. I know a lot of times people already have the piece that they're gonna, you know, this is what the prize you get, but I really think that the what am I trying to say here? The process of talking to somebody and figuring out what stones speak to them and what stones that they like to have with them is a unique experience, and it helps me really create something special for that person. And I like to do that. I really do. I like to make whoever I'm working for feel like they are the absolute center of my universe. And when I am doing a custom for you, you really are. It just is, it's a really great experience, and I'm always really, really happy to see my customers wearing what they buy or what I've made for them. It just makes my day. It really makes my day. A triplet would be more protected as the opal is covered from front and back. Right, the doublet. Okay, so triplet is what you call the one that has the quartz over the top. Okay, so I always called them doublets, but it's a triplet because it's got something over the top. Okay, that's good to know, Annie. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate that. So amber is really soft, and actually if you heat it up to the right temperature, it will actually melt. And so when forming around this stone, I'm being really, really gentle so that I'm not rubbing the wire up against the stone, because I do not want rub marks on the finished product. And it just takes a lot of time and kind of working around. So you can see here, let's see if I can get it right in the frame there. See that? I just keep trying to set it in there and kind of see how it sits, if it's sitting right, and then adjust the wire as I go. Lexi. Thank you for tuning in. It's so good to see so many people popping in. Anyways, back to the books. If you know, you know. So it's the next installment in the Fourth Wing is what's going to be available tomorrow, and I am really excited and I'm really nervous because the author is a really wonderful author, and you know, it's a story about soldiers and war, so you know, people get hurt, and that hurts your heart because you really get attached to the people in the story. And I'm pretty sure someone will get hurt in this book too, but I don't know who, and I'm not trying to find out until I, you know, get there. And they're really great books. I did not expect to like them as much as I did, but they are really, really great books. So if you haven't read The Fourth Wing or the subsequent books, Iron Flame, the subsequent book after Iron Flame, and then of course Onyx Storm comes out tomorrow, and people will be, you know, I saw that like some people are going to be like camped out at the bookstores trying to get in there and get them, and I sure hope that there's enough for everybody that shows up and wants a book and they have to, you know, go to the store to get them, because stampeding for items is that's not very fun. I don't think it's very fun. But yeah, I'm really excited about this next book, and I can't wait to read it. Or, well, in this case, listen, because my eyes aren't on a page. I'm not looking at words. I usually just listen to it. Because I found when I started reading again last year that once I start reading, I will sit and do nothing but read. And that's not very productive. But if you're listening to an audiobook, if you do it on audiobook, somehow you can do all kinds of stuff while you're, you know, reading. And so I do a lot of listening these days so I can function and still enjoy my story at the same time. So, anyways. Yeah. I started reading again last year with the ACOTAR series, so A Court of Thorns and Roses. Hi, Michaela. Thanks for popping on and checking me out on my live. I've been doing a bit better recently, and I've really been wanting to do lives, but I always come up with an excuse not to. And I really literally have zero excuses right now. Nobody's home but me, and nobody's gonna be here probably for several hours but me, so I might as well pop on and try and visit people and talk about my fun stuff. So I'm working on a weaving project that is from the pattern of another artist. So instead of watching me work, thank you. They really are. I struggle to talk without having like prompting. But if like somebody's here, if Chris is here, the kids are here, and they talk to me while I'm on live, I always feel like it's rude. And that's just silly, but yeah, I struggle to find subjects that I can just kind of keep talking about without any, you know, interaction back and forth. But a friend of mine suggested that I read A Court of Thorns and Roses like over a year ago, maybe. And I went and I bought the book, and it sat on my shelf forever. And finally I got it out and I started reading it, and I was like, ugh, this is so predictable, how boring. I don't know if I can do this. You know, there's a meme or a reel or whatever that people have done watching it, using some noise from, I think it's Mean Girls, the Mean Girls movie or whatever. And it really is a lot like that when you start, you know, reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, because you're like, oh, this is just going to be so predictable. And then you get about, you know, halfway, 3/4 of the way through it, and you're like, oh man, that really spices things up a little bit. And you're just glued to it. Like, I devoured those books in like 4 days, and all I did was sit and read, and it broke my hips, and it made me have the worst headache. You know, you strain your eyes when you read so fast. And I really, really enjoyed it, all the way through to the last one that's available, which is A Court of Silver Flames. And that one I purchased. That was my first purchase on my Audible program, so that I could work and read, listen at the same time, and continue the story. So those books were by Sarah Maas, and she has a couple more series that kind of tie into that series. The Throne of Glass series, and then the Crescent City series. But like the Throne of Glass series, if you don't know, you need to read Assassin's Blade first. I didn't know that. I only read it when I was setting up to do my reread, because by the time I knew it existed, I was already 3 books into the series, so I just kept going. But I really love the author, and I love how she is integrating, you know, the 3 stories throughout the universe that she built, and it's really wonderful. And then when I finished that, I decided to read Fourth Wing, or listen to Fourth Wing, and it was so good. I just really didn't think I would like it that much, and I just really love the Fourth Wing, and I'm so excited for tomorrow's release. And getting to, you know, hear the next chapter of that story, or the next, you know, whole book portion of that story. So I will show you guys again real quick. I am wrapping this lovely amber in a woven frame, and I am using a pattern or tutorial by Julie Hulick. This is the business name. This is Julie. This is how it's supposed to look when you follow exactly as she did it. But I always change up this top part, and I add beads. So when it's done, I will show you. I do have one that I reworked years ago, so I can show you an example of what it might look like. Maybe not. I may have put it in the shop. Oh no, there it is. Let's see here. So this is my interpretation, I guess, of Julie's, you know, her work, her patterns. So I change up the bail part and usually add a stone there, and then I add in these beads, which really gives it a lot of depth. And this piece is Hyperstein, so it's a black stone with like a silvery flash to it. Do you see that? And I actually had somebody buy this piece and return it because it reflected my canopy. So the canopy that I have when I do outdoor vending is blue. I have a blue canopy. Well, in addition to the canopy being blue, the sky was really clear that day too. So she was looking at this and she was just going on and on at how blue it is. It's so pretty. And I'm like, ma'am, that stone is black and gray. It's not blue. And she's like, oh, it's great. I want it so bad. And I said, okay, well, it's all yours, you know. And we went through the transaction and did all that. And she came back. She called me the next day and she said, my stone died. And I said, ma'am, I tried to explain to you that stone isn't blue. It was reflecting, you know, the sky in my canopy. And she said, well, I really wanted I thought it was blue. And I said, okay, let me, you know, come to you and we'll see if there's something else in my inventory that is blue that you really like. And if not, I will issue you a refund. And she said, okay. And she looked at some stuff that I had and she didn't want anything, but she also refused to let me refund her. And she wants me to create something for her with a blue stone at some point. And I feel so nervous about that because I'm just not sure how to make it as, you know, as lovely as this one turned out. But anyways, this is my interpretation of the wrap by Julie. Like I said, I make some changes to it, but I do keep a lot of stuff the same. And this is, you know, kind of the idea of what it will look like when it's done, just that it's going to be in copper on amber instead of silver on hyperstein. And I hope I'm saying that right, because I could totally not be saying it right at all. I do have a lot of work sitting up here on my desk that I should, you know, get put away, that I like to show with you guys. Look at this guy, it's so pretty. So this is a jasper that has marcasite inclusions, and I'm not sure if you can see that flash right there where it's metallic. And then I used silver and rose gold, silver, actually argentum silver beads, and sapphire beads to help accent it. And this is also a free tutorial that you can follow on YouTube from Oksana Crafts. She is the original artist, and this is, again, my interpretation and my addition to it. I have another one that I did just the other day in rose quartz. I was really feeling the Valentine's-y spirit that day, and I was really working a lot. So here's another one that I did in copper with a rose quartz. And it's very see-through, very, very pretty. Again, I have to start getting these things put out where people can see them. Here's a little egg I did with a heart embellishment on top. Can you see that? And it looks really green, but it's more blue. And of course it's double-sided because I had the ability to double-side it. Here's a double stone amethyst, faceted amethyst. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah. And I really, really love ametrine. So ametrine is a quartz that has both amethyst and citrine colors in it because of the way the heat was when it was formed. Isn't that pretty? You can see that ametrine down here. It kind of runs like a vein all the way through the amethyst. Just a little. And then I did this lovely little faceted rose quartz. This was when it was like 2 weeks ago, and everything I did had a spiral of some sort on it. I could not stop making spirals. They were just, no matter what I had thought in my head, what I had planned, it was just, you know, I ended up with spirals over the situations. So sometimes you just don't get to choose, and the wire and the stone chooses for you. All right, we're getting down to where I need to look at the book and assess how I want and where I want the curls and the bypass to be on this stone. So I have to keep weaving, just keep weaving. And I'll have to weave on the other side now too. A couple of more of the pattern that I'm doing, and we should be ready to start thinking about setting the stone in place. It sounds like my pups might need to go outside to use the potty. We'll see if they keep pushing or if they're just want attention. Sometimes they just need a little attention. It's so cold out though, I hesitate to let them out and then try to forget about them out there, because it's just not a good time of year for letting your pets sit out by themselves in the cold, especially if they're used to going inside outside, because they're just really not acclimated for the cold. I've seen lots and lots and lots of posts about people leaving pets out, or pets getting lost and being concerned because they're out in the cold, and it's hard sometimes to keep track of them, and it's always just really good to see that they get home and they get back to their people and get warm. All right, one more. Let's see, so about my drawing, if you're not aware, I'm going to do a drawing for a custom order that will amount to about $75 in retail cost when I am done creating it for the winner. At 500 followers of my business page, I will be doing a drawing. Every person that shares any post from my page will get three tickets put into my dish. Let me get the dish and show it to you. So this is my fancy dish. I had hoped to have to get a bigger dish, but I haven't yet, so that's okay though. Here are my tickets. Here's the master tickets. And then here are the tickets for the drawing so far. And like I said, anybody that posts or shares any of my posts from my page will receive tickets into the drawing. And at 500 followers, we will be drawing and getting together and creating a custom piece for the person whose name pulls out of the bucket. So I'm really excited to do that, and I really, really hope that whoever wins is going to be just as excited as I am. Put this back over here. There's a lot of chatter about the TikTok stuff the last couple of days, and there's been some really ugly commenting from people that use TikTok and from people that don't use TikTok. I do use TikTok, but I am not one of those people that has made their whole life and their whole business around TikTok. In fact, I have, I think, less followers on TikTok than I do on Facebook. And sometimes I'm really, Johnny on the spot, and I'm posting videos and reels and on Instagram and on TikTok, but really I just, some days it's just not up to it. And that's not how you create a huge following and a huge audience. So it wasn't really a big effect for me, having it shut down on Saturday and then having it pop back up on Sunday. But really, I get sad and kind of frustrated with people, with human beings, for thinking that because there's an internet between you and the people that you're lashing out at, making it okay to be mean and ugly. And it's just really not okay to be mean and ugly ever. I don't think so. I don't think that it's okay to be mean and ugly about any kind of beliefs. It's not to say that I haven't had, a pretty high opinion or pretty low opinion about certain things myself, but I've tried really, really hard to develop myself into a compassionate person that can objectively see it from both sides and try to, be kind and calm rather than a catalyst for a lack of kindness and a lack of calm. And today is one of those days where I think that it's really important for us all to remember that we're human beings, and that we all deserve to be treated as such. Life is really precious and very much too short for people to be angry and frustrated all the time, and it's just not pretty. And we are a very, very pretty human race. We can be so beautiful and so capable of such good things, and I want to see that more than I want to see not kind and compassionate things. Doesn't mean I always get what I want, for sure, but kindness and compassion really goes a long way. Sometimes that little bit of kindness and compassion that you show somebody is the first compassion that they've seen in a long, long time, and it is something that sticks with them for a really, really long time and helps them get through something really, really dark. And so it's just better to be kind. It's better to be compassionate than it is to be dismissive and cruel. So I'll get off my soapbox about that for sure. I'm not interested in doing battle with anybody about it. That's just the way I see it. I try to be compassionate and kind to everybody I know, and I think that it makes the world a better place, whether I'm making an effectual change for everybody or just the few individuals in my world, the few people I come across that really need a smile, a hug, just an ear, just asking after someone and seeing, hey, are you all right today? It really does go a long way to help a person be seen and know that they are worthy of a gentle word and a gentle thought. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. All right, let's see where we're at here. Starting to form this. Can't decide which side I want up on the top. There we go. Let's see. Yep, I think we are there. There may be cussing in this next part, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my live. It was good talking to everybody. And when I get to the point where I can share it with you again, I will post some pictures, and I will try to go live again in the next couple of days. I'm going to be spending a lot of time alone with myself here at the house, so expect me to do lives. And if I'm not doing them and you want to visit, send me a message and say, hey, let's visit, because I'm totally into it. We can visit. There is a vendor show going on this next weekend. It's going to be a small Valentine's Day-esque vendor show. It's at the town city hall of Culbertson, Montana. There's going to be some really great people there showing off their wares. I do not know if I will be there or not. I'm hoping to know a bit more by Wednesday, and if I am going to be there, I will let you guys know. Regardless of that, though, I do make other things besides wire jewelry, and I'm actually going to get out of it now. I'm not going to do it anymore, but I make, you know, these sorts of things, put these things together, and I have a ton of Valentine's and St. Patty's Day esque stuff. And all of these packages are going to be just $5, only $5, until I sell out of this inventory. So if you want to look through it, or if you want a particular thing, let me know, give me a shout, and I will do a couple of little videos and show you what I have. We can even talk, you know, in a video chat and private messaging. And kind of go over what you are thinking. I am happy to jewel you however you like to do it. It just brings me a lot of joy. So anyways, thank you for coming in and seeing me, and for sharing, for your support, for your good words and your kind thoughts. It really means, you know, the whole world to me, as I cannot work a traditional job anymore. And this is my only way, you know, to add to our household. And in this day and age, that's so hard when you're not able to work and trying to figure out how to make ends meet. And I'm just really, really grateful that I have the skills and I have the things that I have to be able to make beautiful things and to, you know, get them out there to people that want them. So it's been really great visiting you. Thank you for coming by. Share this video, share anything on my page, and when I see your name pop up, I will throw some tickets in my bowl for you. And I cannot wait to do the drawing and do that custom order for the happy person that wins. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Stay warm, stay safe,